Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Hockey Mountain High podcast. I'm Griffin Youngs, joined by Christian Bole, as always. And thank you for tuning in because I am well aware the Avalanche are not the talk of the town right now with everything that is happening in the state of Colorado. But, I mean, we can talk about that just right off the right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm wearing my Broncos gear. That was an insane playoff game. The Broncos turned Josh Allen over 5 times. They win in overtime, a crazy interception. We love the Avs. I'm a Denver native. You've been a Denver sports fan for the past 10 plus years. We love the Avs. We love the Nuggets. We love the Rockies are okay. This is a Denver Broncos town. This is a Denver Broncos town, a Denver Broncos state. It will always be that way. No matter how good the Nuggets or Avs are, it's always going to be Broncos. And for the first time since 2015, the last time they won a Super Bowl, they win a playoff game. But I do have to ask, at what cost? At what cost? Because Bo Nix, the quarterback for the Broncos, breaks his ankle in overtime, will miss the rest of the playoffs. And to put this in Avs perspective, just imagine we beat the Dallas Stars in the second round to go to the Western Conference Final. And in the celebration of the overtime winner, you find out Nathan McKinnon broke his leg and is going to be out for the rest of the playoffs. That's essentially what we just went through.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a bigger emotional swing in an hour. Obviously, I just moved here like 3 months ago. I'm very new to the Denver scene, but I was very into this game, even though I'm very much a bandwagoner because I just lived here. But to go from winning that game, which could very well be the best game all year, like an incredible overtime, back and forth, drama-filled game, and they pull it out and get the winner. Like you said, first playoff win in a decade since the last Super Bowl. You got an hour to celebrate it.
Not even an hour. It was like 30 minutes. You texted me as I was driving home from work, and I pulled over, and I was like, he's fucking with me. Like, there's no way that he broke his ankle. And I just scroll up, and I see Sean Payton on the podium just being like, yeah, Bo broke his ankle. And I can't believe it, man. I cannot believe that just happened. It will go down as one of the more soul-crushing injuries in Denver sports history. Yes, there's been worse injuries with Terrell Davis, with Jamal Murray, but none of them have happened a game away from reaching the championship.
Right, the emotional swing, to win that game in the manner that you did, after everyone was talking about how fraudulent this team is, and Bo Nix, he's not going to beat Josh Allen in a playoff game. What are we even talking about here? And then he goes and he does it. He has several huge clutch plays. He gets down the last drive. They get the field goal. They win. It's the kind of thing where it's just like, in hindsight, I kind of wish they would have waited till the morning.
Yep.
Just to give them the night. Give the fans the night.
Do something at midnight. At midnight. Yeah. Like when everyone's already sleeping, they wake up. Because, it's heartbreaking, man. And it truly is. Just imagine Nathan McKinnon breaking his leg after you just beat the Stars in Game 7.
Yeah, it's almost more like in 2019, they beat the Flames. But right after they win Game 5, it's announced McKinnon broke his ankle or something. Whereas, at least the Avs had one at some point, had one a bit over the last little while. For the Broncos, this has been the first real step out in 10 years, basically. And it's a wide open year. I don't need to tell anyone that. It is a wide open path to the Super Bowl, especially with now the Bills done and the Broncos beating them, where you have either the Texans or the Patriots next week. It's so brutal. It's so brutal. I couldn't believe the game, how the game went in general, and then that. Just right after it. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that.
And here's the thing too, that I love about Colorado. People don't talk enough about how crazy Colorado fans are. And we've talked about this before.
Dude, the camera, every time they would cut to a different camera, it was shaking.
Yeah, it was shaking. And it's just one of those ones where it's like Colorado never gets the respect as one of the greater sports towns in the world. Like it is, they love every team. We show up for every team, and we do all those things. And it's just, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to see that happened. And yeah, now you got your backup QB. if only the Broncos had a guy like Brock Nelson to go step up in that 1C center role. I don't think they do, unfortunately.
But I will cope with this. If there ever was a season for a Jared Stidham to go win a Super Bowl, I guess it would be this one.
It would be.
Like, there's no invincible Eagles team waiting on the other side. Patrick Mahomes isn't waiting for you in the AFC Championship. Like, if there was a year, a backup QB to go win a Super Bowl with a great supporting cast.
Yeah. Here's the thing too. We joke about this. January is usually not the greatest month for downloads for people listening to the Avs. Can you imagine if the Broncos go to the Super Bowl? We may get like 3 listeners to the show.
I'm going to look at this episode after it goes up. After 24 hours, I will be shocked if it is 50 views.
I don't think people are trying to consume much Avs stuff right now.
Like, to transition slowly into Avs talk, it's also not like they're playing great over the last little bit anyway. And January, as always, is always just, it's the dog days of the season, as we're seeing with this last 6-game stretch for the Avs, where you start to see guys banged up. It's when the season really starts to drag. We joke about it in the offseason. We use like the games after the halfway point as the example of like, yeah, but wait until game 45, wait until game 43, something like that. When the season really starts to drag. We were halfway done, but you're not really close to done yet. You can't really talk about the playoffs yet. You can't really talk that much about the trade deadline quite yet. You're getting there. You're getting close to it, but now it's just games. We're in a holding pattern until the Olympics, because once you get there, Olympics, trade deadline, home stretch of the season, playoffs, like it is going to be, we will have our time in the sun, but it is Broncos season right now. So if you are listening to this, thanks.
Maybe they're listening to it to try and not hear about the Broncos and just how sad they are. And we apologize for the first 7.5 minutes of this show, because you probably were coming on here like, I'm going to listen about the Avs and not hear about Bo Nix, and you just had to listen.
It's not like the Avs are great at cheering you up right now. So I don't know how well that was going to go.
I don't know how well that's going to be. But, we can fully transition to the Avs now, and we'll talk more about the Broncos later on. It's been a little bit of a rough stretch, and we talked about it once Landy and Taves went out. You're going to see what this team's made of. And it's not like they were bad against the Leafs. Like they had their moments where they were good, but they were also pretty shaky. This game against the Preds, I think Bednar said it best in his post-game presser. There was nothing he liked from them in that game.
I loved his post-game presser. He hated everything about this game. And I got to say, I love that attitude. With a 10-game lead on the rest of the league, I love the attitude of that sucked. That is not the standard. That is unacceptable, that kind of performance. Because it's like we said, when Landeskog and Taves went out, this team's going to lose some games coming up. Impossible to be on the stretch that they've been on, lose those guys, and still come out of it. This was the kind of performance that was like, I get you're missing those guys. Very important players. Gabe Landeskog, the emotional backbone of this team. Devon Taves, one of the most underrated players in the NHL. Do you need them to remind you how to play defense, though? How to not give your goalie who's been off for weeks, like just let him get shelled basically for most of the time? Because Mackenzie Blackwood, he makes his return this game. I would not say he was very good, but it's not the first time we've seen him come back. He usually takes him a game or two to really get back in the rhythm, and the Avs didn't really do him any favors. Again.
He didn't know if it was 30 seconds into the game. He had to stop Ryan O'Reilly all by himself in front.
Even before Brock Nelson tied that game with like 90 seconds in, it could have been 2-3 Nashville, because they were just letting guys go in unopposed on him. It was a very uncharacteristically sloppy defensive game. And like, you look at the stats, the Avs outshoot them, the Avs do this. And it was just a very, you got to tip your cap to UC Saros, who had a phenomenal game. He played out of his mind in this game. You got to look at a couple of weird things where, again, you have another own goal in this game, and you have that bizarre penalty on Bardakov to end the game, which we'll talk about later. Like, there was a couple of things that work against you in this game. it just doesn't really feel like it really mattered for the end. It felt like we got the result we deserved. 7-3 is harsh.
Yeah,
that was not a
score effects went into that game. They had 3 empty net goals?
They had the 2 empty netters and then the free power play gifted goals. So it turned a 4-3 game into a 7-3 game, which makes it look like the Predators ran them out of the building. It's like, yeah, the Avs played bad. I wouldn't say the Predators ran them out and blew them out of the building kind of thing. And also it's their first regulation loss of the season at home.
Yep.
In 23 games.
Yep. Like, here's the thing. You mentioned all of that. Like, the Avs played like a D-plus game. They were in this game. They arguably, if it's not for UC Saros in that second period, they're up 5-2. He made some unreal saves. I think he robbed Jack Drury twice.
Yep.
He made a save on Olofsson. He had the puck, the deflection from Ross Colton bounce off the post, bounce off Saros, and then stop like an inch from the goal line. Like, the Avs played terrible, and they still could have won this game.
Yeah, and they've had that game several times this season where that puck does go in.
Yep. And
they, it's a C-plus game, but they win 5-2 kind of thing. Where this was a game where they're missing important guys. They play like crap. They don't get away with it.
Yep.
They've gotten away with it a couple times this season. And I think it is it's not a bad lesson to learn. It's like, hey, you can't do that. You cannot do this all the time. Where, again, the power play, pretty ineffective in this game. That's not going to help you. Special teams in general, not great in this game. And you can't get bailed out every single time by these miracle third periods and just running a team out of the building 5-on-5. They were not into this game that much. It really felt like McKinnon, kind of a nightmare in this game, was not very good. You had a lot of your top guys not be very good in this game. If not for Brock Nelson, this could have been way worse.
Yeah, I mean, McKinnon, it just goes to show you, like, he was off in this game, and he still ends up with, 2 points?
Yeah, I mean, it's Nathan McKinnon.
It's Nathan McKinnon. But, like, you watch the game, and we've watched every game this year. His defensively wasn't great. I mean, the O'Reilly goal, I don't know what he's looking at on that play. He just lets O'Reilly sag off and just wide open in front of the Blackwood. He wasn't great. I thought Nate just had his moments. Lehkonen, like, we know what Lecky is. You do need to see him start contributing a little bit more offensively. He's been kind of quiet these past couple games. Brock Nelson continues to be awesome. Like, if there's one positive to take out of this game, Brock Nelson is going to score 40 goals, and that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. And I don't know, like, it's again, I said this after the Leafs loss. I'm not going to be too bothered by a loss at this point of the year with how many guys are banged up. What I am bothered with was the execution and the style of play. Like, you're going to lose games, but you went out there and defensively, you were a nightmare. You were a nightmare out there against the Preds tonight or last night. So that's kind of where I have a problem. The loss, you're going to lose. UC Saros was great. You got to be better defensively. You got to get pucks out. And it goes toe and toe with that penalty kill late in the third period after that iffy call on Bardakov.
Iffy is a strong way, but I'll save that conversation. But yeah.
You had 2 chances to get the puck out. 2. And you didn't get it. You didn't get out. So defensively, you were a nightmare. Penalty kill was a nightmare. And power play was a nightmare. Like, you're going to lose games. Like, that's why the Leafs loss didn't bother me too much. Like, you didn't play your best game. You still were in it. This one, you kind of go, yeah, there were a lot of things you didn't do right. And that shouldn't happen when you just had 3 days of rest.
Yeah, where, again, talk about you're missing Landeskog, you're missing Taves. Obviously, there's going to be results that don't go your way when you have those guys. But one of the things I've been so complimentary about with this team all season long is the system and how everyone pulls their weight. And then you remove those two, I think especially Landeskog from the lineup. And you start to see bits of that team from last year where it's just, we had this conversation a lot. It's like, I get how important Gabe is. I get how important that guy is. I think I made this point a lot last year. Does he need to babysit you, though? Like, do you need him on the ice and on the bench for you to remember the defensive structures, to remember the defensive systems, to just lock in and try a little harder? I guess it's like, I get he's your emotional leader, and it's going to happen at times when you don't have your captain. But that much? It's such a drastic difference when he's not playing. It's not a coincidence they're 2-3-1 in their last 6 games, and that pretty much coincides to the moment he came out of the lineup. But there is that frustration of, like, you got to do better still, even without him on the ice. Like systematically, you got to be better. Like it's almost unacceptable in a way. See, even Waffles upstairs agrees with me.
You can hear him. You can hear.
I can hear a little bit, but
okay, yeah. I apologize if you hear the dog barking. She's just being a lunatic this evening. For those of you who don't know, if you're new to the show, she is I think she's 4-month-old corgi puppy.
Adorable.
Yeah, she's the best. But yeah, she's not liking me not being up there with her. But
or it's the Bo Nix news.
Yeah, the Bo Nix news too. God damn it, that bums me out. Yeah, I mean, with Landeskog being out, you don't need him to babysit you, but you do need him just to be like, hey guys, we need the accountability.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. It's like just, I guess, the lack of accountability without him there. Like, I don't really have a better explanation as to how this keeps constantly happening when he's out of the line. Because I get there's going to be a drop off in play. It's just the lack of systematic attention, like paying attention to the little details. Hey, let's maybe try a little harder for Mackenzie Blackwood tonight, coming back from a couple of weeks off, and takes him a second to get his rhythm back and everything. And like I said, he wasn't great in this game. He finishes with an 8.21. There's definitely some shots he would want back, but you kind of know that coming in from him. Like, it takes him a second. So I was hoping for a lot better. You had so many guys coming in uncontested on him at several points.
There were so many odd man rushes, it felt like, for the Preds. Like that, they were just winning every battle, it seemed, below the boards. They were doing everything right. And Blackwood has bailed you out, and so has Wedgwood so many times. And he didn't do it tonight. And you can't expect your goalie to steal you one every single night. You just can't.
Especially those first 3 goals. You cannot even pin those on him. Like, you can't look at any of those and say, well, Blackwood needs to be better. Maybe the fourth one, that's not one that's really gone in on him a lot this year. But
what was the fourth one? Was that the Bunting one?
That was the Bunting one. The first one not scored by Ryan O'Reilly in this game, who had a hat trick and 4 points out of it as well. He had a monster night. But yeah, you can point at Blackwood in the small picture of this game and say, well, he wasn't great, but you're not worried about him.
No. I mean, the fourth goal from Bunting, you would love to say, but that was a buttercup and it just kind of floated on Bunting. And that play is just that was so frustrating about that game. That goal happens. Val has the puck in the offensive zone and it just rolls off his stick. That was just the type of night it was for the Avs.
Yeah.
I thought Val actually played a pretty solid game. The second line as a whole with Nelson, Nichushkin, and Colton were the best line. But that play, that's the turning point in the game. Nichushkin has a chance. He gets the puck off the boards. He's crawling above the circles, and it just rolls off his stick, and it's a 2-on-1.
Yeah. And it was weird because the Avs felt like a one-line team in this game, but it was a second line.
Yep. The second line was awesome. I mean, Brock Nelson was great. Ross Colton is so due for a goal, it's actually insane.
Right. This is what we were saying last time, where it's he went on a slump like this last year, but he was bad in that slump. He's playing fine right now, and he's an inch away from breaking the slump in this game. He's so unbelievably due. You just feel awful for him.
You feel bad for him, but he's playing great. Nichushkin is on a slump himself. All 3 of them were great in this game. They were very noticeable. They were creating chances. They were good. It's just that was just the way the night went for the Avs. The puck rolls off Val's stick. It creates 2-on-1, and that's ultimately the game-winning goal.
Yeah, and you want to talk about a guy who had a bad game. Sam Girard had.
Yeah, it was rough.
One of the worst games I've seen from him in a while. I mean, he scores a goal. Yeah. Just not for us. Scores right into his own net. Second straight game that you have an own goal put in your own net. But he was brutal in this game.
Not his best game. Not his best game from Sam Girard. I looked like a genius when I said he would score a goal. I forget what game it was that he scored the only goal of the game. Was that Utah? Yeah, it was Utah. I was right. He did score, just not against the Preds. He scored against himself. But yeah, that was Sam Girard's really first bad game we've had probably since the opening week when he was clearly injured still. And I mean, pretty much the whole decor I didn't love.
Yeah, I didn't even think Kale was very good in this game, which is with a -3.
Yeah, I didn't love any of the defensemen in this game. It was just a bad game. It was a bad game for the Avs, and you kind of need those Like, as much as it sucks to sit here and talk about it, you learn more from the losses than you do the wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Preds played an awesome game. They were awesome last night.
Yeah, the Preds did exactly what they needed to do. And again, UC Saros played out of his mind. If it wasn't for UC Saros, we're having a very different conversation right now about how the Avs play bad but still win anyway. Like we've had several conversations like this year. 5-on-5, the Avs still put up 40 shots in this game, and they outshot Nashville 40-25 at even strength. Expected goals 2.4 to 1.7 for the Avs. So once again, the Avs 5-on-5 are the better team, which doesn't count for a lot on the scoreboard, but it is still something to monitor that they still are doing a great job at winning the even strength situations. It's just, Nashville just played better, right? Like they've given them a little trouble this season in the
does it not remind you exactly of how 2022 went?
I was going to think the same thing. I think in 22, Nashville beat us 3 times in the regular season.
Yep, they did. They did. We were 0-3-1 against them. I think they were one of the few teams that swept us.
No, we beat them once. I remember we beat them once. It was I don't remember the one, but they beat us 3 times for sure. I remember that. But then you got the playoffs and it was a mauling.
It was a mauling. Again, like the Preds could be a sneaky playoff team and they could give us some trouble. But I trust the Avs in that scenario if they match up with them in the
final. Like big difference between game 1 of the playoffs and game 45 of the regular season. Like you can only put so much stock into regular season matchup results, right? We've seen teams like the Winnipeg a couple years ago kicked the shit out of us in the regular season, and for the most part still does, except for the 5 games that they played in the playoffs together where the Avs cleaned house.
Should have swept them. Should have swept. But the Avs were talking about this. They're 2-3-1 in their past 6. Their lead in the division hasn't changed, and they lost.
I'm going to read you a few things right now. The Avalanche are 6-3-1 in their last 10. And compared to the stretches they've been on this season, that's catastrophic. That's horrible. Yeah. 2-3-1 in their last 6. Like, my God, by far their worst stretch of the season. Dallas. The vaunted, terrifying Dallas Stars in their last 10 games are 2-5-3. They are in a slump right now. They are going through it. Minnesota won today in a shootout against the Sabres. They are 4-3-3 in their last 10. Welcome to January, everyone. This is when good teams, especially, really start to go through it. This is when you see a lot of teams make up ground. This is when you see a lot of teams start to really settle into what they are. Like this is really when the true test of the season begins. Yep. And for the Avs, 2-3-1 is by far their worst stretch of the season. Dallas is going through it. Minnesota is going through it. You got a lot of teams right now that are just kind of suffering at the moment.
Yep. It's the dog days of the season. And that's why it was so key that you built that lead, because now you're going through it. Taves and Landeskog aren't back till probably the end of the month. You just got to go 500, and you'll continue to hold a 8 to 10 point lead. And that's all you need. We had talked for months about how the way they were playing was unsustainable. You're not going to keep winning all those games. And it took until the middle of January for us to be right. And we had been saying
we're talking about this was their 23rd home game of the season. This was the first regulation loss. It was January 16th before they lost a home game in regulation. Like that is still absolutely ridiculous. And I look at the 3 games they have left on this homestand. I think they should 100% win all 3. Yeah. I see no reason as to why they can't win all 3. I look at this game against Washington coming up, which we'll go into a little more detail about later. Being familiar with both, I think the Avs run them out of the building in this game with how the Caps been playing. They're going up against Philly, who is currently on a 5-game losing streak, all in regulation. Or I guess the first one wasn't in regulation. They lost in overtime. Toronto. There's 2 straight to Tampa. They've actually been blown out in all these games. 7-2, 5-1, 5-2, 6-3, and 6-3. They lose today to the Rangers. They're going through it right now, and they'll have the Avs at the end of the week. And then you have the Ducks after that to wrap up, or the Ducks first. And they've been struggling like we've been talking about on here for a little bit. Right now, in your homestand, you're 2-1-1. It's pretty standard, right? if you win these last 3 games and you come out of it 5-1-1,
that's pretty solid.
Right. Again, putting the cart before the horse because they have to play those games, but I feel good about those 3.
Shoot, even if they go 3-3-1, again, like you're missing such big pieces of your team. Like I hate when Devon Taves is out, but when he is out, you just realize how important he is.
Because you can kind of look at Taves and say, well, his offensive production hasn't been very good this season, and he's had some weird plays defensively that you're like, that's not very Taves-ish. Yet you see when he's out just how important he is to this team, where they're trying their best, but like that is such a hard guy to replace. And you're trying to get Solovyov his minutes as well. And he's doing okay, I guess. But like the other guys, they got to pull their weight, and it is tough to replace a Devon Taves. And the little things that you just don't realize or appreciate what Devon Taves does that just show up when he's not there.
You need Devon Taves. Like that's like, again, I hate when he's out, but when he's out, you just go, oh yeah, that's why we signed him to that 7-year deal.
Yeah.
Like that's why. And he makes Cale Makar better. Cale Makar is otherworldly, but he needs a guy like Devon Taves. And Sam Malinsky's done a decent job. He's done decent. I have nothing bad to say about Sam Malinsky. He's not Devon Taves. And that's nothing against Sam Malinsky. It's just Devon Taves is one of the top 10 defensemen on planet Earth. And when he's not in the lineup, you notice.
Yeah, exactly. You notice. And then you look offensively without Gabe Landeskog, where we saw the results without him for 3 years. It hurts. It hurts the team a lot to not have him in the lineup. And again, it's really not a coincidence that this slump is starting without him in the lineup, where again, you look at his numbers, they're not going to blow you off the page, but we had the conversation long before he got hurt that he's probably the most important player on this team.
Yes.
It's really not even a question. Like, yeah, obviously McKinnon, yeah, obviously Makar. What Gabe Landeskog brings to this team is far more than just simple goals and points. Like he's the best captain in the NHL, and that doesn't get talked about enough, that he is the best captain in the NHL. It's Sidney Crosby, yes, yeah. I know all the old legends, Ovechkin, Crosby, but when we talk like single impact captain, the difference between him on the team versus when he's not here is night and day. He is such a needed foil for Nathan McKinnon on this team that they need him. Like, it's not a question. They need this guy in the lineup. I don't think they can win without him. Like, to go on a deep playoff run.
They can't win without him. I don't think it's a question. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
If not with this roster, then they can't, period.
Yeah, they can't. So he's so important. And we're 2 weeks now? 2 weeks since he injured himself?
About that, yeah.
It's 2.5. I think it was like a couple. No, it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday.
January 4th. So it was 13 days ago.
So we're probably about 40%.
I think he will be back after the Olympics. That's just my speculation.
I think he will play in the Olympics for Sweden, but he won't play for the Avs until after.
Yeah.
I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
And good. I want him to play in the Olympics. Like that's really all I care about is getting him healthy. But yeah, he's so important. And I hated to cut you off there, but they aren't winning without Gabe Landeskog. They just aren't. We've seen it. They aren't winning without him. They aren't.
Yeah, I think it's just there's no real way to quantify it with numbers, but when he's not there, they start playing sloppy. They're a lot more irresponsible with the puck. They have a lot more defensive breakdowns. It's just a lot of the little things just go a little bit unchecked. Like there's no way you can back that up with numbers or analytics or anything like that, but it's noticeable. It's noticeable every single time they're without him.
Very, very. But again, I don't know. It's game 44 of the season. I'm not super sweating it. Just clean it up as we go forward. Let's quickly talk about, and then we'll transition to the preview because I feel like we've talked long enough about a game where the Avs weren't very good. The call on Bardakov late in the third period. I don't know what else he has to do to give a cleaner hit.
I think, especially with the context that they went in and reviewed it,
Yeah.
I say this a lot, so I don't know how much weight this holds. I think that's the worst call I've ever seen. Or it's got to be up there. I know it doesn't have like the magnitude of being in a playoff game or having like real significance, but I don't know what Bardakov did there that could even be considered a penalty other than Eric Haula was hurt.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't want guys to get hurt. You know, they called a major to look at it because I guess they didn't really see it in the moment. It's like, okay, that's fine. Then they looked at this for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And you know what else I forgot about? This was the Predators' only power play of the game.
Yep.
So they were looking for something to call. And he staples him into the boards. He didn't charge him. He hit him in the shoulder. He did not make contact with the head. He did not squash him in the numbers or anything like that. Good, clean crunch that looked like it just knocked the wind out of him a little bit. Just kind of had him winded on the ice there for a second, but they see someone hurt, so they got to go and review it. They review it for a long time, and it's so clear that they've just decided they're calling a penalty here. And that is what drives me nuts about this league, is like they have to call something in this instance because they can't let Nashville go with 0 power plays in a game. And so, I mean, you had what Brock Nelson said as well, is that the officials started to huddle up and kind of say they were going to call something because they saw a player down and hurt. They were going to call a penalty. I just think it's crazy that we just accept that's just okay.
That's okay.
Because the Predator, like the Avs had made it a 1-goal game earlier in the periods, 4-3. Obviously, this is much later in the game, but like there's 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
the Avalanche can't get 1 goal in 5 minutes. They call this made-up penalty. The Predators score on it. It's like, oh, okay.
Game's over.
I guess that's it. Even if they didn't, that the game was stopped for 5 minutes when the Avalanche were kind of doing a little bit. Like, it wasn't their best sequence, but they were getting a little thing going. Blow the game dead. Then it's a 2-minute power play for Nashville. It's like it killed the game dead.
Yep.
It's one of the most bizarre reviews and calls I've ever seen because we can play like, oh, that call's made up. Oh, they're pretending with that call. They literally made this call up. They went in and reviewed it and made it up.
I still just don't get how that was interference.
It's not.
Yeah. They called it interference, and it wasn't. Like, the puck just left his stick.
Right. Like, where did they think Bardakov is going to be like, oh, well, I guess I'll just stop?
Yeah.
And
we've seen much worse.
It'd probably be more dangerous for both guys if he just slammed on his brakes, took out his own legs, and then took out Haula's legs as well on the fall. Like, it's physics. He has to hit him there.
It was an egregiously bad call.
Yeah, and it ended the game. Like, I wanted to say this to the end because I didn't want this to seem like the reason they lost. It's not. They played bad. They deserved to lose this game. But it ended the game. Like, it is a call that put the Predators on the power play and gave them a 2-goal lead with 5 minutes left. And that's it. Like, that was the end of the game. Like, and no one had a good explanation for what the hell just happened. Like, that's one of the times I'm like, why are they not available post game? Just for a question, like what happened there?
We didn't even see like the review because the thing that drives me crazy about it is there was no hand up.
No, Eric Haula was hurt, so they blow the play dead, and they're like, I guess the thing that drives me crazy about it is that they can go back and assess a 2-minute penalty.
Correct.
That they just didn't call in the moment.
Correct.
That to me is crazy. Like I get being able to review for a major, but it drives me nuts that they can call a different penalty after reviewing it.
Yeah.
That they could just be like, well, yeah, but that happened. We didn't call it, but we saw it on the replay, so I guess now we have to. Where it's like, okay, so it's either 5 minutes for head contact,
which it wasn't,
or you can just assess a completely different 2-minute penalty or nothing.
Like, here's the thing. When the NHL probably gives, like, because the NFL does this where they send out tapes of, like, textbook way to do something, that was a textbook hit.
Yeah. Like if that hit is interference, then we need to wrap this whole league up. Like, because that happens so often. It's unfortunate that Haula got the wind knocked out of him on this play. I'm not calling, like, a dive or anything. I'm sure that hurt because hockey hurts. But you don't need to call a penalty because somebody got hurt. If he hit him in the head, hit him in the numbers, that's one thing. He didn't do anything wrong. Anything wrong. And this review took so long that I think at a certain point they're like, yeah, well, we have to call something now.
Yep.
And that Nashville had 0 power plays. I mean, it is a proven fact. We caught and fired a ref on a hot mic for saying I was looking for a makeup call a couple of years ago. I forget his name. What was his name? Peel? Was it Tim Peel?
Yeah, Tim Peel.
It was Tim
I almost
Peel.
said Dave Jackson just because he's on TV.
Yeah, but Tim Peel got basically fired for this. It's a proven thing the NHL does with just like looking for calls instead of just calling the game.
And the worst part was the Avs got a makeup call after that.
That actually made me more mad.
Yeah.
Because it was 6-3 at that point. It's like, thanks for looking out for us, guys. You had to get hauled down earlier in the third period that they're staring at and call nothing. But the insulting makeup call, just so they can say, but we gave it back to you.
We gave it back to you.
A power play goal in an empty net later.
Yep.
They give it back. Thanks.
Appreciate
Thanks
that.
for looking out.
It was so funny. I don't know if you caught it on the broadcast. Like both Riker and Lyles just laughed. They were just like, they're like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the like,
yeah, thanks for
the power play.
Just keep it at that point. Keep it 1-1 on the power plays, and we can go home. Like, don't insult us with this makeup call.
Yeah, that was so funny. But yeah, I mean, I felt bad for Barkov because I really thought he was good in this game tonight. The fourth line was noticeable this evening or last night. I thought the fourth line had its moments. It does go back to the point though. The Avs need a third line center. They need one bad. Man, it's nothing against Jack Drury. He had a couple great chances in this game, but he's a great fourth line center. You're really pushing for him to be a third line center.
Yeah, like I completely agree with you. It's just the market. They don't have him. Where Ryan O'Reilly has a hat trick in this game, and obviously people are talking about the Avs going out and acquiring him for seemingly the 7th straight year. He might be the only guy. Like him and Boone Jenner might be the only like realistic.
Are the Preds going to sell?
That's also the thing. Are they going to sell, and are they going to give them to us? There's just so much there that just doesn't click. Like the Predators might make it. The West, the bottom of the West, the wild card race is not good. They have a shot.
Yep. I think they're 1 point out right now.
Yeah, I'll double check that real quick. But they have 50 points in 47 games, and San Jose and Seattle have 51.
Yeah, like they're very much in it, very much. And UC Saros, you look at those three teams. Who has the best goalie of those three? It's the Preds. It's not even close.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I don't think the Preds are going to sell, but you need a third line center, and you need one. And again, it's not that Jack Drury's been playing bad. It's just he's not a third line center.
This has been the plan from the beginning. We said this in September that I think Drury is a fine 3C, but I think to have that like final boss level roster, he's better as the 4C. That's not an insult. He is an elite fourth line center. I go back to say like, oh, he's a fourth line center is an insult. Look at Jay Beagle all the years in Washington.
Nick Dowd's made a career out of it.
It's not a bad thing to be an exceptional fourth line center. Teams will pay out the nose for that sometimes. It is a very strong luxury to have, but I don't mind him as the 3C. I think he does okay in that role. You're not drowning when he's on the ice. He does fine in the role, but it can be improved is the overall point. Yes. But the center market at this deadline is so weak. And I see people talking again with the Panarin stuff and everything. I just, that's not what they need to do here. It's not.
Nope. They don't need a winger. They need a third line center and they need a seventh defenseman.
Yeah. Again, Solovyov's not doing bad, but there is improvement to be had at that position.
Yes. And again, the seventh defenseman is just break glass in case of emergency. And again, Solovyov has been good. He's been fine. I don't trust him in the playoffs. And I don't think Bednar would trust him in the playoffs.
Yeah. Again, and it's not a bad thing to have more options in the playoffs. If he's your 8th or 9th defenseman and he has to come in the playoffs, that's one thing. For him to be your first option, not thrilled.
Not thrilled. But they desperately need a third line center. Desperately is crazy. They need a third line center before the playoffs.
Yeah, that is need number 1 and 2 on this team. Is they just need a little bit down the middle.
Yep.
Need a little bit down the middle.
Yep.
Maybe you get Charlie Coyle back. I don't know.
That'd be funny.
That'd be really funny. You get Columbus to retain half. They already fired their coach. They'll probably in seller mode. I don't know. Maybe you write that wrong from last deadline of not getting the retention the first time. But
that'd be so funny. That. Just give them back their 2nd round pick.
Yeah, not Gavin Burnley though. You can have
not Gavin Burnley. We keep Gavin Burnley.
Yeah, you can have someone else. I don't know.
Yeah. Kick rocks. let's preview this game against the Capitals on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, playing at 2 p.m. You will be at the game. I'm hoping to be at the game.
I am 90% sure I will be at the game.
90% sure. I'm hoping I will be able to. But you mentioned it before. The Caps are not playing the best hockey. They just get drummed 5-2 today against the Panthers, and that was on the heels of the Panthers losing 9-1 last night.
Yeah, back to back for the Panthers. They had lost 9-1 to the Hurricanes the night before. The Caps also gave up 3 goals in like 4 minutes to San Jose in the second period to lose 3-2. They played really bad against the Montreal Canadiens, but got 2 goals from Ethan Frank in the third period to win that game in overtime. They lost to Nashville. They beat Chicago less than a week after losing to Chicago. They got handled by the Stars. Their last real win was against Anaheim. They're banged up. They're not playing well right now. They're not very fast at the moment.
They are not a good matchup for the Avs.
No, they've been skating in mud for a little bit. And I am allowed to make this prediction as a fan of both teams, as not a secret. I lived in Maryland for a day shy of 25 years. These are my boys, and they have been for a long time. So are the Avs, not a secret. If you're new here, very much a fan of both.
Yep.
But the Caps are not playing well. I think the Avs run them out of the building. I think this could be a 6-1.
Quite possibly. The only thing that gives me hesitant about that is, do you imagine is it going to be Thompson or Lindgren who gets the start?
I imagine Thompson starting because it's not a back-to-back for the Caps, and Thompson's been one of the best goalies in the league, but they are killing him. They are running him out of their own building every single night. And it's actually getting sad.
I do think that's the only reason why. I think the Avs win 4-1.
I mean, the Avs in November stomp this game. It's not even going to be close, but the Caps they're not playing well. They're coming in on the same kind of lifeless lull a little bit lately. It's the start of a road trip for them, a long road trip coming up here. And there's just not a lot of life in the team right now. Ryan Leonard is a guy to watch because I think he's been exceptional this year. Ovi's hit 20 goals, but you know what Ovi is at this point. He's a streaky guy. He's going to get hot. Their defense just hasn't been super. There's not really anything impressive about the Capitals right now. You want to talk about power play struggles? Dear God, here's something. I hope this game is a ton of power plays for both sides. This is the one game in history that I actually want to see a shootout in. Because one of them would have to win. And I would be so fascinated to find out who, because they're both awful at shootouts. The Caps are somehow worse than the Avalanche in shootouts. And I think have a worse power play as well, because at least the Avs have the stars. They have the star players. The Caps, they have 40-year-old Ovi, and it's bad. It's really bad. If the Capitals do win this game, I will be very surprised. Because obviously when we predict other games, we have blind spots. We don't watch a ton of the games and everything, and can't really give an accurate assessment of what that team's going to be like coming in. I can here. If the Capitals win this game, I will be stunned. I just don't see them doing it. And also, I think this is a really important game for the Avalanche, a really big bounce back game. They've lost 2 in a row at home. That does not happen for them. And they just got challenged by their coach in the post-game press conference, and they cannot be happy with how they've played. Yeah. So if they come out and lay another egg, I will be very surprised by that.
I don't think they will. I just think Logan Thompson keeps this game close.
Sure. 100%. I'll give you that. But I really do see the Avalanche running them out of the building here.
Yeah. It's a good matchup for the Avs, and they should be able to take advantage of it. I just think Logan Thompson is awesome. I think he keeps it close, and I think it's going to be 2-1 after the second period. We're going to be what the fuck's going on here? Are the Avs just not clicking? And then I just think the Avs pull away in the third. And we'll look back on this game being the Avs won 4-1. It could have been 7-1.
Yeah. The Caps don't really have any life to them right now. It's been a very weird stretch. They haven't won consecutive games since November, and they're losing the teams that are not great. Yeah. They just don't look particularly good in any of these games. Logan Thompson is doing his best. I think the dam just breaks here. Like I think the stars are aligning for a drubbing.
We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a fun one. The only thing that is a bummer to me is that it's at 2 p.m. That's the only thing that's a bummer to me. But other than that, I feel pretty good watching that game. And again, like I just look back on this, and it's just like, yeah, the Avs are struggling. They're doing all these things.
It's TNT game as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, TNT game. So that'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm hoping we'll both be able to go and get to see it. But we'll have to see if the stars align for that.
And also, I was able to find it. The Capitals statistically do have a worse power play than
that's impressive.
The Avalanche are at a 16.7, 25th in the league. The Capitals are at 15.7, 28th in the league. Yeah. Penalty kill, the Avalanche 85.2, best in the league. Capitals 77.4, 23rd in the league.
Yeah, so special teams is killing the Caps.
Yeah.
I do still just look back on it, and now, yeah, we have Brock Nelson now. Talk about a third line center. Could you imagine just in a world for me if Dylan Strome just miraculously ended up on the Avs? I know that's mean to you because he's in the first line center for you, but that would be nice.
You want to talk about a signing that would have saved us so much trouble so many years ago. Man, what a contract he's on. And he's going through it a little bit right now. That's what I mean with the Caps. Like, they're just – this is not even arrogance because it can't possibly be arrogance coming from me.
Right.
They're genuinely going through it with their roster right now where it's just not working really for them right now. Points-wise, like, Tom Wilson is great. Love Tom Wilson. He's got 42 points. Really shouldn't be your
points
leading point scorer right now. Alex Ovechkin basically has like the same stat line as him. I mean, I love Alexei Protas. He's top 5. Like, Ryan Leonard is such a bright spot on this team. The weird thing with the Caps is their future is like shockingly bright with like Ryan Leonard, Andrew Crystal, Cole Hudson. Like, they have such high-end prospects on the way right now where it's like I don't think they're going to make the playoffs the way they're playing right now, even with how the East is. And I'm really not that bothered by it because I'm like, well, again, they could get another top 15 pick and their scouting staff has been phenomenal. I kind of love that idea.
Yeah. What was the name of the website that they bought?
Cap Friendly.
Cap Friendly. Yeah. Yeah. Remember them?
Remember them.
Yeah. Great times.
I miss them every day. Puckpedia is great. Puckpedia actually did a really good job at filling the void, and I got used to it pretty quickly. Cap Friendly was special.
Yeah.
So it just, man, that website was crack, man. I was there every day.
It was the best. It was the best. But we'll be back to, I'm assuming, before the Ducks game. So
I think we'll be back on Monday, like after that game. It's a 2 p.m. game.
Yeah, we'll be back. So we'll preview that Ducks game. There is some NHL stuff we have to talk about. And if you've listened to this show long enough, you know both Griffin and I are disdain for the New York Rangers.
It's to the point where people have asked us to cool it a little bit, which I think is fun. But
like there is a disdain for the Rangers just because I've never seen a franchise be celebrated more for one Stanley Cup since World War II.
Yeah, we've done this, Randy.
Yeah, we've done this all before, but almost pretty close to like the day that they put out a letter like 10 years ago saying that they were going to do a rebuild.
Not even 10. That was 2018.
Oh, Jesus, I feel so much long ago. They just put out so many letters that it's actually insane. I lose track of
releasing statements. I've never seen an organization that puts out so many letters.
So many letters. They put out one yesterday with Chris Drury basically saying, this team's not good enough. They were going to be looking to improve in the offseason, essentially.
Yeah, basically, like, again, it's January. Like, I get you're last in the East, but like you don't need to put out another letter right now. But I think this is an organization that panics a lot and makes a lot of hasty moves. And the fire Drury chants were a going in that game the other night. And I felt like they thought they had to do something. And they put out another letter, a message from Chris Drury to our fans in all capital letters, by the way, which why?
Are they trying to hit the YouTube algorithm?
Yeah, but I don't know. But it's a 3-paragraph letter. I offered to read it. It's like, I don't want to read a 3-paragraph. Like the skinny of it is, we wanted to take a moment to connect with our loyal and passionate fan base, blah, 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 blowing smoke up your ass, blah, 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 blah. Our goal is to bring a Stanley Cup back to New York because that's what our fans deserves, but blah, 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 blah. With our position in the standings and injuries to key players this season, we must be honest and realistic about our situation. We are not going to stand pat. A shift will give us the ability to be smart and opportunistic as we retool the team. This will not be a rebuild. This will be a retool built around our core players and prospects. Now I'm going to stop myself right there. What are you talking about when you talk about our core players and prospects? Would you mind listing them for me? Okay. Adam Fox, who you kept off the Olympic team.
Yep.
And Igor Shesterkin. Does anyone else come to mind?
No, I think that's literally it.
Yeah.
I think that the core players, when you think players, you think more than two. I think it's just two.
Yeah, it's two. Great two.
Yep.
Adam Fox, Igor Shesterkin, top 5 in their position, 100%. What are these high-end prospects that they're bringing up? Because I'm curious about that. Which ones?
I don't think they have one.
I don't know.
Like the thing is that they went on a nice little run. They've been picking a little bit later in the draft. They've traded around the first round picks. They don't have any prospects that are like top notch. Because if they were top notch, they'd be playing in this shitty lineup right now.
Right.
I don't know. Like it's just the thing about it too is they should be in a position to sell as one of the few sellers in this market and get a ton in recoup. But of the players they're going to trade away, I don't think any of them are that good. Like Panarin's awesome.
Yeah, Panarin is going to get a haul. 100% Artemi Panarin is going to get a massive haul on this team, but he's an expiring UFA. In terms of other expiring UFAs, it's Carson Soucy.
Yeah.
Jonathan Quick. I mean, Quick might get a lot because the goalie market's so shit. I'm sure the Oilers will jump at that, but I mean, do you need to keep putting out these letters and apologizing for, I'm sorry, guys, we're just so bad. We're going to have to retool the team. They specifically said this will not be a rebuild, it'll be a retool. Shut up.
I would rather a team say you need to go into a rebuild.
Which is what they did the first time. Yeah. But they said, we're going to rebuild this team. And it's going to suck. It's going to be painful. It took like 2 years. But you don't need to keep apologizing for being bad. As much joy and pleasure as I get out of the Rangers being bad, it's kind of embarrassing that they keep putting out these statements like, guys, we fucking suck. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. We're going to trade guys. I'm just so sorry. Please stop chanting to fire me.
You know how crazy it is? Like, I just thought about this too. Like, they had a number 1 and number 2 pick in this run, and both of them, like, Lafreniere is a fine NHL player. He's not a number.
But he was compared to Sidney Crosby in his draft year, and he's like a second line winger.
Yeah, like they had Capo Caco, who was supposed to be like the Finnish GOAT. Like he was supposed to be really good.
He was supposed to at least be close to Jack Hughes.
Yeah. And he's a fine player. Like he's going to be an NHLer for the next 5-10 years. He didn't pan out. Like you had a number 1 and number 2 pick on a team with Panarin, prime Panarin, one of the best goalies on planet Earth, a top 5 defenseman, and in 3 years it's over.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
Yeah, they won the President's Trophy in 23.
Yep,
and had that phenomenal power play. Lost to the Panthers, missed the playoffs entirely the next season, and here they are about to miss the playoffs again. Like, and it's just been such a mess. Like all the locker room stuff and everything. And I think my favorite move is like we're having a lot of locker room problems right now. We gave away players that the locker room really liked, but we're a lot of dead cap and people aren't happy. Let's bring in JT Miller and put the captaincy on him. And I guess problem solved, right? Everyone go home. We did it. We won. Like, and now they're surprised that it's still happening. Like, I don't know I don't know how much Mike Sullivan knew he was getting himself into.
No, he has no idea.
He is already in press conferences, like throwing his hands up. Like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. I'm going to ask you this for Avs related. Do you think they move off Trocheck?
Maybe. I mean, you look at his contract. He's got a 12-team no trade list. He's 32. He makes $5.625. I mean, if you're going down the path I think you're going here, is like, I'd think about it.
I'd think about it because he has, what, 3 years left on that deal?
He's got, after this season, 3 years.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it. It's just, term scares me a little bit.
You would have to get some salary retention.
It has to be. Has to be.
But that could be an interesting, like, they're expecting Trocheck to be a second-line center. He's not anymore. But as a third-line center, I could be talked into it.
Yeah. Especially behind Brock Nelson. Like, I think that would be fine.
I could be talked to. He's a good face-off guy. I do think, though, with 3 years left, if you're asking them to retain salary on it, you'd have to give an uncomfortable amount of things.
And it's just, I look at what the trade deadline could be for them. It's like, well, yeah, Panarin's going to get moved. They're not going to extend him. They basically have already confirmed that.
Yep.
Who else? Like, is this letter just going out to apologize for trading Panarin?
Essentially.
Because, like, there's not a ton other, like, strong moves they can really do here. It's like, are you trading Mika Zibanejad with his full no movement clause, $8.5 million contract that was signed? Like, first of all, that contract was signed in 2021. I don't know how that happened, but it still feels like it was just signed. He was having, like, kind of an okay year. I think he just had another hat trick. Like, so maybe that, but, like, you just acquired JT Miller. He's here till 2030 at $8 million. When it comes to Alexi Lafreniere, I feel like you just kind of wait it out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, because there's no real point in trading him.
His stock could not be lower.
Right. Like, his stock could not be lower. And, like, I don't know, you hold on to, like, well, there's always a chance, right, that maybe he could reach something close to that level we expected of him someday. Is it worth it to trade him for a first-round pick?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a mess in New York, and the only one, like, Panarin's going to get them a decent return, but he's a rental. Like,
right, and he's an expensive rental.
Yeah. Like, they'll eat some salary. I guarantee it. They'll eat some salary for it. But you get a first for him from a team that's probably going to be picking.
They'll get more than a first. I mean, it's such a seller's market this year. Like, there's not those high-end names out there that I'm sure they'll get a strong, like, first, second, and probably a good prospect out of it too.
Yeah, they'll get a good return. Again, I don't think we need to worry about the Avs going after Panarin, but they don't need a winger. They don't need a winger.
Do you worry about, like, the Stars or the Wild going after him?
The Wild more than the Stars, because I don't think the Stars will do it.
Yeah, the Stars, like, Jason Robertson's on the trade block right now, and he's been on the trade block for a little bit, but
if you trade Robertson, you want someone who's controlled.
Right, yeah.
Like, I worry more about the Wild going after him.
And it's also, like, this kind of the same thing with the Avs, with the Stars. Like, well, they don't need a winger, do they?
No. Like, the Stars need defensemen.
Remind me, how long is Tyler Seguin out? Do you remember?
He tore his ACL.
He's done?
Yeah, he's done.
Okay. Because I think they might do that, actually, because of that. I don't know. Because, like, I think they got, like, Sam Steele up there right now.
Yeah, they could. Panarin, for me, he's good. He's still a good player. I just don't. I don't know if they do it. I just don't. They made their big move for Mikko. Like, what would they have to give back?
They have their first next year. They still have some things I think they can do, but I think another team can give the Rangers a better package. Is the thing.
But Chris Drury's dumb enough that he may do it.
That's also the thing you have to be worried about. Like, the Mikko situation, I think, was a very different situation last year, with obviously everything moving minute by minute going into the deadline. The Rangers are going to have a lot of time here.
Yeah. And
I see another team coming in there and giving a better package. Like, if you're Detroit right now,
yes.
Do you not just want to lock that spot down? It's like, we're making the fucking playoffs and being done with it.
I could see a world where Florida gets him, because that'd be funny.
That would just be.
Because New York did say in that letter, or they didn't say it in the letter, but Elliot Friedman reported they're going to trade him where he wants to go.
Which would be Florida.
Yeah. Which would be hilarious.
Or, again, that could be the Avs. Like, they were going after him all that time ago, but.
That was 4 years ago.
He does have the no movement clause. So, again, you do have to factor in tax-free, warm weather. That's Florida. That's Tampa. That's Dallas. Like those are those
nasty on Tampa.
I was also thinking that I don't know. Like, do they have the space? I have to look at what they've got.
Oh, they don't have the cap space, but they'd find a way.
Yeah. That's just the kind of move where it's like, man, they might, and that would be insane.
That'd be nasty on Tampa. Nasty. But I mean, we'll have to see. Like, they're the first team this year where you can genuinely say they're a seller. Like, Vancouver's a seller, but they don't have really anything that the Avs need. Like, they're good. Like, I don't know. Calgary could be with Rasmus Anderson, but it sounds like he just wants to go to Vegas.
Yeah, Rasmus Anderson, like he was already like basically like looking around with tears in his eyes after the last game. Like that could happen any moment.
Yeah.
It feels like at this point. And yeah, in terms of everyone else, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Devils because they are crumbling in front of our
crumbling, but like I just don't know. Like, if you could maybe get Siegenthaler if you're the Avs, but I don't think they move off of him.
I love Jonas Siegenthaler.
He's also injury prone, so like that's a risky move.
Yeah, but he's so good.
He is really good. I think he's only making like 4.5 too, right?
Not even. I think he's at like 3.5.
Yeah.
3.4.
Yeah. Like he'd be sweet, but I just don't know if the Devils are going to do it. I just don't know. You know who I'd love to see Panarin on? The Buffalo Sabres.
I want the Sabres to do that.
Yeah. I would love the Sabres to do that, but I doubt he will want to go to Buffalo.
Because like it's what they did with Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
Right? All that time. Or no. That's what I've got Arizona mixed up. That's what Arizona did with Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall was in Buffalo. That's where I got confused. Yeah. But that's what Arizona did with Taylor Hall all those years ago. Like they got good and like we're getting the top guy in the market. Now we're making the playoffs. Like we need to make the playoffs. And I don't think they did. Did they?
No, they did. That was the COVID year.
Oh, right. That was the COVID year.
Yeah, and they won a round. They beat the Preds.
They won the qualifying round. Yep. Yeah, if you're the Sabres, like I've said this forever, I don't care about like, the future and building cup. You have to end this playoff drought. You have to. That is the most embarrassing stat in sports right now. That you've not made the playoffs in that long. Yeah. Get them and make the playoffs. Doesn't matter if you don't win a game. You just have to get in and get this stink off of your franchise. Yeah.
Just get it off. Tage Thompson's been awesome. He's been awesome.
Yeah, the Sabres, I hope they do.
I hope, man. I hope. Fingers crossed. But it's just, I would love to see that. But the trade deadline's coming up. The Rangers' downfall, as always, lovely to both of us.
Yep.
No complaints. Life's great.
Life is good.
But I don't really think there's much else NHL-wise we need to talk about. Again, a weird day in Colorado sports where you have the highest high and then followed 30 minutes later by the lowest low. And it's a weird time in Denver right now because all the Nuggets, the Avs, and the Broncos are all really good, but all of them are facing injuries to key players.
I can't believe that happened.
I can't
believe that happened. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. No. Where such a, like you said, a high winning your first playoff game in 10 years in that manner. And you beat the Bills, who were pretty favored in this game to a lot of people. And you're feeling great. It's like, great, path's open now. They won a game. They could beat the Patriots or the Texans next week. They can beat whoever comes out of the NFC in the Super Bowl. 30 minutes.
It's all over. It's not over. Jared's going to play good. He's going to play good.
You never know. Maybe this is the start of the legend of Jared Stidham.
Yep. Maybe.
It happened with Nick Foles.
Yep. Who knows?
Like, you never know.
You never know. But if you're a Denver sports fan, life's good. Broncos are in the AFC Championship. Nuggets are still competing without Jokic, who's going to be back in time to still qualify for the All-NBA and the MVP trophy. And the Avs are the best team in the league. And even if they're struggling, they're still the best team in the league by 5 games.
Yeah. Yeah. Their lead for the number 1 seed in the NHL is only 10 points now.
Oh, my God.
With the Carolina Hurricanes, who the Avalanche have 3 games in hand on.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, God. I don't even want to say the name of the award you get anymore because that's just not what matters. It's about home ice.
It's about home ice. It's the home ice
award. Playoffs.
It's the home ice award. That's what
I hope if they do finish first, they don't even mention it.
Yeah.
They just say, we have home ice. I hope they don't make a single tweet.
Yep.
about that other thing.
Yep. We're good. Just throw it away. Throw it away.
Doesn't matter. We can talk about it later after the season.
After the season. We'll put a banner up later. But we will be back Monday. Sounds like after the Caps game. We have a mailbag.
We do have a mailbag. I was waiting for you to finish your spiel, and I was going to remind you, but you reminded me first. Yep. So we have our one mailbag question. It is from R saying, that was a sad game. Power play bad. 5v5 defense bad. Sad to see. But it's a long season. A bad night's going to happen. Who do we need to fire now, Lamau?
For the YouTube audience, R is one of our basically a co-host of the show at this point.
Yeah, every episode we got.
Every episode we can count on R, and that's
also the only comment on our last episode, which I did see.
Really?
Yeah.
Love it. R's the best. The power play is bad. We talked about that. I don't know who you fire. Do you fire? I don't know who you fire. I mean, it's hard to fire someone when you're at 73, 74 points.
Yeah, everyone, I guess.
Everyone needs to go. Back-to-back losses on home ice. Everyone's got to go. Yeah. I mean, if we can have like a semi-serious conversation about it, I mean, like Dave Hackstall and new power play, but also like you tried this already. Yeah.
You already put Ray Bennett on the sacrifice altar. Didn't do anything. I don't think Hackstall is the best guy for the job, but I also don't know if it comes down to coaching.
Yeah. It's eventually, we've talked about it before. The players have to execute.
Yeah.
They just have to execute.
I mean, a guy's not just going to magically come in and fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but like, I don't, when you have McKinnon and McCarr, how elite does the structure need to be?
Right. You need to be able to enter the goddamn zone.
Right.
That's what you have to be able to do.
You need to not lead the league in shorthanded goals.
Yes. You have to do all those things. And it's the Achilles heel of this team. They need to figure it out. And again, we're not asking for 40% every night. We're asking for one every 2 games.
Yeah.
It's
been a little better.
Yeah.
It's not the disaster that it was when they were winning somehow, but I don't know. I wish I got it sometimes, but it is what it is. You're halfway through the season. You haven't seen a ton of improvement. It's got to be a focal point, at least coming out of the Olympics.
Yep. Got to be a focal point. So we shall see. We will have the great battle of the 2 worst power plays in the league battling on Monday. So
they got once in a generation, John Cena versus The Rock, the Avs power play versus the Caps power play. Just can't wait for it.
Can't wait. But you're the best. Thanks for the question. And now officially, I think we're done.
No, I think we are ready to wrap this one up here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, especially today, because again, I know we're not the main event right now. Our time will come in March and April when the Avs are in the playoffs, but it is Broncos season right now. Here's to the AFC Championship. I wish we could be more excited for it. Like literally the one thing that could have taken the air out of the city happened with Bo Nix shattering his ankle. But also to be positive about it, what a twisted narrative for Bo Nix over the last 2 years, where he went from they drafted that guy that high to he just got hurt. They literally can't win the Super Bowl now.
Yep. Where Bo Nix
not bad for a guy who, according to a lot of people, sucks and can't play QB and was going to get demolished by Josh Allen. So now either way, if the Broncos do lose the AFC Championship, Bo Nix gets to be mythologized and be the savior. Well, if they just had him, they would have won the Super Bowl. Or they do win the Super Bowl and everything's fine. So I don't know. But we'll wrap this one up here. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. As always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at GR Youngs. You can follow Christian at Christian_Belay. It is just now hitting me that our banners have been down this entire episode. Yep. I noticed that. But I don't know. We'll figure all that out in time too. I'm still learning how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. But thank you all so very much for tuning in. We will catch you all next time. But until then,